So let me give you a quick recap of 2022. If you were at our member family meeting, then you might have heard some of this, but wanted to just kind of give a quick overview and snapshot. It's easy. I'm not big on setting numbers for goals on things like membership, baptism, attendance. Literally, we've never set goals on those things. I also don't think it's helpful to overemphasize or focus on those. However, they can be helpful snapshots for you to see what God's doing. And remember, because as I was looking through this, I was like, oh, that did happen this last year. And God was doing these things. And so it's easy to get narrowly focused. And so a few things in 2022, we celebrated 9 baptisms. So that was encouraging throughout the course of the year. We received 11 new members. We have 3 more that are in process. And then many more of you that have expressed the desire to join at some point. The last 3 months of the year, we averaged over 100 people here at our Sunday gatherings, which again is just encouraging that God's connecting people. We track that so we know when we might need to go to 2 services or things like that. But that's just encouraging that people are connecting. We launched a new missional community group. So now we have a total of 4 different groups that gather regularly throughout the week. And that's kind of that opportunity for discipleship throughout the week and being on mission and being family together, living out our identity. And then there's a lot more that I could mention, but the last thing I want to update you on is our global partners. We are in the process, as you know, of sending 2 different couples to be a part of planting churches among unreached and unengaged people around the world. That has taken investment and sacrifice on your part and on our part as a church. We began giving $1,000 a month towards those initiatives out of our budget this year, just out of our general budget. And then we will increase that at some point this year to $1,500 this year and continue to do that. Throughout the course of the year, you guys gave directly, so this is regular tenors and members of New Eden, you guys gave about $5,800 directly to those couples just throughout the course of the year. And that's not including people from the outside that they knew that gave. That's directly from you guys. During Advent, we had Advent giving. You guys gave $6,621.36. That comes from some of you guys covering the processing fees. So that 36 cents, unless some of you just randomly wanted to do that. But so this will also go directly towards those works. And so that's exciting. So I want to say thank you for the part that all of you have played in this last year and all of that. It is ultimately God's work. It is his church. It is his church that he is building. And so we give him all the credit and glory. But God is faithful to use his saints in that journey. So thank you guys. Quick update on our global partners. So B&R, who we speak in a little bit of code, y'all can raise your hands. They're sitting here. We speak in code because of the live stream for security reasons, but they are very close to being fully funded. They hope to leave late February, so we'll have a send-off commissioning service for them, and you'll get to hear from them before they leave. But they are still in need of some monthly supporters. So if you are interested in supporting monthly, now's the time to get on board with that. And so you can learn more on the back table, along with the K's, which is the other couple. They are in training right now at a school called Radius. You will hear more from them next week. We'll have them up here and let them update you on how that's going. They just finished up the first semester, and so they're here on break, and they'll be going back to finish up and then completely finish sometime in May. So what it's kind of looked like as far as us sending, and the reason I want to celebrate this a little bit, is God has been faithful to send us people that desire to go and that New Eden is able to send and get behind. And you guys grasp what that looks like, what that the investment and sacrifice that takes from you guys. And so God is continuing to do that. So Alyssa, I'm going to call you up here. Joel, if you want to bring me that other mic pack, we're going to try to make this other awkward exchange. You can come sit here awkwardly while I talk about you for a second. So this is Miss Alyssa Hickenbotham. We don't have a code name for her yet. Test. All right, we're going to roll with this. So we're early enough in the process where we don't have to have a code name for her, but you can be thinking about what. You already have one? No? Okay, cool. All right.
Taking suggestions.
Taking suggestions. I wouldn't take suggestions from some of this crowd out here, so that might not end well. But I wanted you guys to meet Alyssa. She recently joined New Eden. Now, I've known Alyssa for a long time. I was doing the math, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's probably been like 9, almost 10 years that I've known of Alyssa, and then got to spend a lot more time with her just the last 6 years or so. And so Alyssa has joined New Eden Church as a member. If you're a member, you received that email recently. But she desires to be equipped to be sent. And so kind of the way it's looked like, we've kind of broken down into 3 phases. These are things just we've learned as we've sent other people. Is you kind of got phase 1, which is just being a member at a local church, being equipped, engaging, and we kind of just see what are the giftings, what are the things we want to teach and help grow just through the local church. And so that's kind of phase 1, that equipping. And then phase 2 is some type of more extensive training that's been Radius International, just somebody who's got more experience in things like cultural and language acquisition, things that we can't teach as a local church here at New Eden, but other people can. And then phase 3 is like getting them to the field. And I guess phase 4 would be just ongoing support and care for the next 20 years, because this is a long-term journey. So Alyssa's kind of beginning that first phase of equipping, has a target date of kind of 2024 to leave for that training. So you'll have time over this year to get to know her more. But what I want to do just quickly is interview her. Kids, I want you to listen as well to Miss Alyssa. And if you guys have any questions about her story afterwards, y'all can go up and find her and ask her those questions. So Alyssa, why don't you just quickly tell us just very briefly about your story, your journey with Jesus, and what that's been like.
Yeah. So I grew up in a Christian home. Both my parents were believers, and so I had grown up hearing a lot about Jesus and who he is, and kind of made a decision when I was pretty young to follow the Lord. But my understanding of who God was is that he was just very angry and unapproachable, and so a lot of my the overflow of my heart in that was just kind of very afraid, and just kind of didn't want to be punished, because I knew I was a sinner, knew that I was not worthy. And so I tried with just doing good works and being a good person, and that was just not enough. And so it was probably when I joined the Summit Crossing family about 10 or so years ago that I really started just hearing the gospel in the songs that we sang in communion and in the reading and teaching of the word, and through just mentorship, and the Spirit just opened my heart to really receive the grace and mercy that is found in the gospel. And so kind of from there, then all those things kind of just overflow of we have a personal and approachable God, and one who desires to know us. And so it's from that we love and serve him, not for favor, but because we already have it, not because of anything that we bring to the table either. So
that's good. Yeah, thank you for sharing. So obviously you're here, and the goal is that you want to play a part in being a goer, so taking the gospel to the unreached. And so kind of tell us maybe some of the things that God used in your life to bring you to this point. What was that journey like?
Yeah. So I grew up in a multicultural community. I grew up in a naval community, and so I grew up around a lot of my friends were from unreached places and countries. And so in my education, we learned about the persecuted church. We learned a lot about different cultures where my friends were from. And so I knew that there were places that didn't have the gospel, but that didn't really mean much to me, honestly. And it wasn't really until I started really pursuing the Lord, and that I really found through the Word that there are people who don't have access to the gospel, and because of that, they will be born, they'll live, and they'll die, never hearing the hope that we have. And so it's kind of been through just reading the word, through Perspectives. It's a great class, go take it, and just hearing how the allocation of resources that the American church sends for places that have access to the gospel versus places that are unreached, and just seeing that great divide that's there. This has just kind of been some of the catalysts for kind of going.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, that's good. Thank you for sharing. What are ways that New Eden can support and pray for you kind of very early stages of this journey, right? Obviously, it's something that's been simmering for a long time, but saying, hey, we're putting feet to this, we're taking steps towards that. What are ways kind of in this next 6 to 12 months that we can support you and pray for you?
Yeah, I'm just really excited to be a member here and plug in. I'm excited to partner alongside of you guys in bringing the gospel here to Decatur and beyond. So really just, I want to get to know you guys. I know some of you guys, and I know of some of you guys. So just being a part of all the things is kind of the biggest push for that. And then just, yes, prayer for wisdom and discernment. Like I'm holding this with a very open hand. Like the Lord is absolutely able to change plans at any moment in this process. So wisdom and discernment in that as well.
Awesome. So y'all pray for her, get to know her. Thank you. You can start heading down.